Welcome to Sports Talk for You. My name is Aaron Bell. I have my co-host Adam Parker and Armand Ely with me.
Hello.
We have a special guest today. Shocker fans know him very, very well. Former Wichita State Shocker Markis McDuffie. Hello, Markis.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good to have you
I'm
on.
doing good.
Glad you're back here in the United States and staying safe right now.
Most definitely.
Yeah. We want to go ahead and we're going to talk with you and tell us about your pro life overseas and how that's going, and then we'll get to questions about, your former Shocker career and all the stuff that happened this off season, and we'll go from there. Markis, just go ahead and tell us about your career over in Hungary, how you like it, how you think it differs from the NBA here in the United States.
Okay. My first year in Hungary was pretty good. I learned a lot. I adjusted. Me doing 4 years at Wichita State, it was able to mature me as a man and as a basketball player for me to go on and play outside the country. Growing up, that wasn't a dream, but, now it's reality now. And for me to, experience my first year in Hungary, I had a pretty good year. Obviously some ups and downs, trials and tribulations, just me trying to adjust being away from home by myself, away from my family, and just what I've grown to be, over there in the States. So, coming over to Hungary and just seeing how different the league is, how the players in the league, it's just so fundamental. They all play together, they know, they teach us, the fundamentals of the game, just, not just running up and down the court, playing in a system, learning how to come off screens, learning how to, knowing to shoot, knowing to drive, things like that. They don't have in the NBA, there's 3 seconds and stuff, and overseas there's no 3 seconds. So a lot of guys get to sit in the paint. The defense is more compact. So it definitely, I feel like it got me a lot better learning how to, learn when to attack the gaps, just, pick my spots on the court.
Hey, Markis, we hear a lot of things going on with Greg Marshall right now. What are some positive things that you got from Greg Marshall, from Coach Marshall?
Oh, I got a lot of positives. Just, just his relentlessness on the basketball court of just being as great of a coach as he wants to be and just trying to get the best out of his players. I think that's the biggest thing. And, now, back then when, not back then, it was a year ago, but, when I was playing, when I was playing with him, he just, always make sure like you're 100% locked in on every, even in practice and in the games, he always, that's why the games were just so much easier because, just the way, he got on us during practice and, pushed us to be better. When the games came, it was a whole lot easier and we were more disciplined.
Do you think that one more question. Do you think Coach Marshall has to adapt to his players now, or do you think it's this new generation of players that's coming in that needs to kind of adapt to Coach Marshall?
I think it's kind of both because, and one reason, like you said, the new generation of guys, and this whole thing with this transfer portal thing, like the transfer portal, it just started being called a transfer portal. Like when I first started playing a couple years, it was just they decided to transfer, but now it's a transfer. So you can tell now a lot of guys are going to be, into this new thing. So I think it's more, the new generation of guys and, if they not feeling, that this is going to help their future, or is going to put them in a position to, obviously make the NBA. That's what everybody wants to do now. And, but also, Greg Marshall just knowing his players now, like, he's knowing, these guys can transfer any minute now, with this whole situation. So he has to be able to just, build a relationship with these guys, see what they, do they really love? Do they really want to get better? Do they really want to, take that next level step with you, or they just want to, just, go somewhere where they want to be the man, So it's different now, it's a different game.
Tell us about the fan support in Hungary compared, our average Shocker fans. Are they passionate over there like they are here?
No, not at all. Not even close. I don't even think they even, they don't love basketball as much as we do here in the States. So it's like, okay, they see a basketball team and, some people, there's obviously a couple, you obviously, I've had a couple fans there, very few, but just to have that type of, fan love, coming from other people who don't even speak your language and don't even, know what your life's like on the other side. So it's just like amazing.
Right. I also want to talk about, because a lot of people were talking about how this year's team, when they went on that slide after 16th in the nation, they got on that slide, there was no leadership, nobody was being a leader. Do you think just having that young team and only having one senior on the team just affected that leadership? Because I know last year you and Samaje became the leaders of the team late in the season. That's what helped you guys go on that late run.
I think that's definitely, one of the reasons, and it possibly could be a big reason, because when you have a senior, not even a senior-led team, but guys with, a lot of experience, veteran guys, they're mostly like not the last man standing, but the guys who always pushing the younger guys, usually pushing the younger guys, because it's a long season, a lot of ups and downs. And usually, even when I was a freshman and sophomore, you would get down on yourself during the year. You feel like you're not doing well. And there was always those veteran guys that pick you up, get you better. And towards the end of the season, I felt like me and Samaje did that for the freshmen. But now, new year, not as much.
You want to do it, but whenever I ask you to do anything, you don't want to do it.
It just can cause.
Don't you go with that.
Hold on 1 second. Chase, you're coming through on there.
Oh, sorry.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
I was saying that, I think it's definitely a big part because, like I said, it's a long season. And through the ups and downs, and being a young player, because I've been through that same situation, you go through a lot of ups and downs mentally, and, you feel like, you're not where you want to be, or you're not playing good at this time. And you always need that veteran leadership to pick you up, and that leader you can see and visualize, okay, if he can do it, I can do it type deal. So I think last year they didn't really have that, and they had a bunch of guys around the same age. Those guys, these young guys now, they need that veteran leadership. They need a guy they can look up to and focus on, because if they feel like, they don't have that, they feel like they got to just do everything else on their own. So I just see it like that.
Yeah.
What was the biggest takeaway that you learned playing at Wichita State and under Greg Marshall?
The biggest takeaway that I learned was just be able to, play through adversity. When I think that was the biggest thing, through a lot of adversity, just when the game, it would be games where, we're down, we're going on a losing streak, now with social media, people get to say whatever they want to say, it's just, just going through adversity and just every day, just working, just finding a way to get better. I think that's the biggest thing, I think every day, you always want to move up 1 more %. And I think that's the biggest thing, especially for me, because, I did 4 years. I've always just wanted to get better. And, through those 4 years, or through any years, you're going to go through a lot of, injuries, ups and downs. And I think just fighting through the adversity, I think is the biggest thing. One I just took away.
Now, I know earlier, actually, I guess it was late in the month of March, the Sunflower ended up saying that you said stuff when come to find out that you never said that. How does that make you feel as a player when a editor lies like that and puts all the information out there even though you didn't say that?
It's just, at the same time you understand because of how the world is today in society, they're gonna twist things, put things out there, for their own good being. They want to, it's whoever gets it out there first now, so I felt like that's what he was trying to pull a hit on me, as if, like we've talked, I let him, let let myself answer the questions that he had for me. I answered them for him. But, you know, just for him to, you know, do that to a player who just graduated last year, just played with these guys.
Yeah.
You know, and for him to put me out there, making it seem like I called out my guys, you know, the guys I played with, you know, I've led, you know, I've taught these guys certain things, you know, that's just not cool because that ruins, you know, relationships, you know, just off a simple tweet, you know, and I think that's corny. You know, I understand because that's what everybody's trying to do now, but I'm like, come on now, don't do that with me. That's all, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Markis, I know you played with quite a few guys in your day. Who is like maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite players of all time that you played with?
Oh, for sure, Fred, Ron. I say Fred, Ron, and
Maybe
shoot, I'm
Samaj.
gonna have to go with Landry. I'm gonna have to go with Landry.
Yeah.
Go with Landry. My 3 favorites right now.
Who did you model your game after?
Model my game after?
Yeah.
You know, that's tough. You know, a lot of people say, you know, I look like Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant's a different breed, you know. But at the same time, you know, I feel like I wouldn't say a Pacific player, but I model my player as a 2-way, a 3-and-D guy, a guy that can shoot the ball, you know, just versatile, dribble, rebound, any type of NBA players, any type of players that got that type of pedigree, you know, I think that models my game.
One question I have, tell us about your high school experience. You played on one of the legendary programs up in New Jersey with Coach Hurley. And it's unfortunate that the high school closed a few years ago. Tell us about the experience, your high school experience with that.
The experience was amazing. You know, Coach Hurley is obviously one of the best coaches I've ever, you know, met, you know, played with. You know, he just did so much for that school, and for how long he kept it open for so many years to keep it strong. You know, I just thought that was big. You know, I'm just so blessed to, you know, before it closing down, for me to just be a part of 4 good years there. And, you know, Coach Hurley taught me a lot of things, and he kind of upstarted, you know, he's kind of one of the reasons why I got to Wichita State. And, you know, I even stayed loyal with them for 4 years, you know, because, you know, just the loyalty and the discipline that Coach Hurley gave to his players and everything, it kind of helped me adjust to Wichita State a whole lot quicker.
I do have one more question for you. As a college player,
Yes.
do you get more excited would you be more excited going to the NCAA tournament and getting beat by 15 points in the first round, or going to the NIT and getting to play in Madison Square Garden?
Now, that's a good question because I got that question asked last year. That's tough. You know, I'm going to go with, now that I experienced the NIT, I would rather go to NIT and win a championship than get smacked in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Because in the NCAA tournament, one thing about the NCAA tournament is, you know, obviously they put you in a nice hotel, you know, you get food, you know, you get all this. They give you toiletries, all this nice stuff. It's wonderful. But what I experienced last year at the NIT tournament, going to Clemson, Furman, Indiana, like, that's crazy. Like, I've never played against an ACC school in my 4 years, you know, and just to play in the gym where Duke play at, you know, just to play in Indiana where so many great that's more. And then going to New York, you know, somewhere I grew up close to, you know, I just thought that was an amazing experience. So I think doing that would be better than just losing in the first round. But second round, I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Right on.
I got to ask you, who's more intense, Greg Marshall or your Hungary professional coach?
Oh, Greg Marshall for sure. It's not even close. Not even close. And he knows that.
I was just making sure.
Not even close.
He's got you playing angry.
Now, Markis, I don't remember if this was I can't remember if it was your freshman or sophomore year.
Yes.
I think Greg Marshall, I forgot what game it was, but you guys were struggling at the time. And he went into the locker room at halftime and wrote NIT in big capital letters, and I think it just walked out of the room. Was that during your freshman or sophomore year?
I think that was my freshman year because my sophomore year we were good.
Yeah.
I think it was my freshman year because we went through a lot of injuries. Fred was getting hurt. Connor didn't get eligible yet. Landry was out for the season. So, we didn't know. But once our team got healthy, all that stopped.
Yeah, that was.
And we ended up making the tournament and beat, I think Vanderbilt and somebody else.
Arizona.
Adam's team.
Sorry, Adam.
Hey, it's all right.
Sorry, Adam. Sorry, Adam.
The sweaty shirt game. We all remember that one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Are you going to
I try to forget that.
things? Oh, go ahead, Adam.
I was just saying I'm trying to forget that game.
Hey, Marcus, when things get back to normal and everything, next season, will you try to get invited to the NBA camp?
Most definitely. Right now with this coronavirus going on, this epidemic, everything's quiet right now. We don't know what's going on, but for sure after, this is all done, I'm going to look for what my next step is going to be. But, I feel like it's only going to go up from here. I feel like, I think in college, from Wichita State, I got a whole lot of love and exposure. But I think on the political side, I didn't really think I got the love I should have got, and the kind of exposure. So, now it's on me to go out here and just prove everybody wrong and just keep getting better. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you you got a question, Adam?
Oh, no, I just, it's kind of a fun little question, but what was your favorite food in Hungary?
In Hungary? My favorite food, they make us eat a lot of soup in Hungary. Like, how they give out bread before you eat? They give out soup before you eat. So it was called goulash. I think it's called goulash. Yeah. It has beef, all type of stuff inside the soup. It's really amazing. I thought it was great. That's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah. I do have one big question because with all these transfers this year, everybody kind of saw Eric coming because of his relationship with Greg Marshall and Tate Bussey, the walk-on, and the other guys. The biggest surprise, in my opinion, because you played with him, Jamarius Burton.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him? Did you see that
coming?
I
did not see it coming. That was a big surprise to me. Not that I'm, not with these guys anymore. I'm kind of on the outside looking in, just like you guys, So it's just, I played with these guys, so it's like, did I see it coming? No, not at all. I didn't see any of them transferring, just considering the season they had. But just by them transferring and then just seeing so many of these guys on Twitter, seeing these guys entering the transfer, I'm like, yeah, it's just a bad time for college basketball right now. It's crazy times right now. So it's just like, you just got – these guys are still my brothers, no matter what. I talk to these guys. I make sure they're good, make sure they going to the right school, because you don't want to make a mistake. So, I think that's the biggest thing I could do is help these guys and give them the best advice I can, as I did when I was there with them, playing with them.
Well, during your recruiting process, what were the other schools that were recruiting you that made you decide to come to Wichita State?
VCU, SMU, and Boston College. Those were my three schools. I think if it wasn't for Wichita State, I would be at VCU. But obviously, Shaka Smart left, so I decided to come to Wichita State. Everything just fell in place. Like, Wichita State was the perfect, I guess, the ideal place God wanted me to be. So.
And as Shocker fans, we were very, very fortunate
for
you to spend 4 years with us.
I don't regret it at all. Nothing at all. It was amazing.
All right, one last question I want to ask you. What was your, I'd say, favorite game as a Wichita State Shocker that you played?
Oh, man. Are we going by years or are we going just one game?
Just one game, like NCAA tournament or NIT or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with – hold on. You're going to have to give me some time on this one.
Or go ahead. Just do year by year. Do that. It makes it easier.
All right. I say my freshman year, the Arizona game.
Yeah.
Arizona game was fun. My sophomore year, Illinois State, when we blew them out by 40 to win the
yes.
We blew them out. I think the gym was the loudest I ever heard.
Yeah.
Junior year, I would have to say the Cincinnati game at Cincinnati. We beat them. They were like 5 in the country.
Yeah.
My senior year, man, I would have to go with.
You scored 31 against Providence.
I would have to say the Temple game. I would say the Temple game and the Indiana game was good, I think.
Yeah.
The Temple in the conference tournament.
Yeah, that was
Right, that was good.
I had my best game as a shocker. So, yeah, for sure. So, yeah. It's more games. It's just I had to go by year.
yeah.
Because, just Wichita State, just the state. Like, you can say so many games that were fun because of just our fan base and just how loud our games are. So,
Yeah. Now, because I know you played MVC and AAC, do you think that move to the AAC is what really helped the recruiting here for Greg Marshall? Just that better competition?
For sure. Like, it was like when I kind of was my 4 years were kind of where like the beginning was, and then my junior year is kind of when it kind of started to change, like the whole, now with social media and all, these guys, going to different schools and things like that. I think kind of my junior, senior is kind of when it changed. So when we got to the AAC, I thought that was a big deal because now, we can get these, 4-star recruits, 5-star. Usually we would get the 3-star, 2-star recruits and turn them into, 4 or 5 when they get to college because of Coach Marshall and just, just working over the years. But now you can get these guys straight out the door. Now that we in AAC, you can get these guys straight from high school. So I think that's better for it now. But I do miss the MVC because we ran it. Now for sure gonna get in the tournament. And now AAC, it's so many teams. Like it's so many teams. Like it's hard for us to get in. Like it was gonna be hard this year for them to get in. So it's just like it's pros and cons to it. But at the end of the day, it's all about the school and just building the program.
All right. Any more questions, Armand, Adam?
All right, good. Just like
I'm good.
thank you for taking the time and be safe up there, buddy.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. Appreciate y'all having me on here.
We appreciate it. Shocker fans love you. We wish you the best, and hopefully we see you in the NBA here in a couple of years.
Hopefully, I'm working, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Markis
All right,
McDuffie with us today. That'll
Thank
do
you,
it for our show. Go ahead and like and subscribe button. We will have more shows. We have another show tomorrow. We'll have former NFL player Cameron Wembley with us. And on Thursday, we'll have AAA head baseball coach from down in Texas, Rick Parr, with us. So that's going to do it for us today. Armand, Adam, great show. Glad to have you guys.
Outstanding.
And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.